You're listening to Real Radio, the nationally trusted name in real estate investing. We dig deep to discover investors' why in real estate. If you want to skip all the BS and get in investors' heads, you're in the right spot. Be one of the thousands to check out realradio.com. Welcome to Real Radio. This is the Real Estate Rundown, episode 265 with Owen Dashner.
You are such a nerd.
I did so good because I got you cracked up between you talk.
Well, you're all freed up now that you shed your undershirts.
Oh my gosh, it was so hot.
Ted seriously was having hot flashes.
Yes.
I think you're the one that's actually 51, not me.
Oh, yep.
Uh-huh.
Keep thinking that.
I think you got switched.
Yep.
At birth.
Yep. It looks like it.
I don't know, man. So I didn't see you last week.
Yeah.
I had to do a little trip out of town. But,
Happy birthday.
thanks, man. Celebrated it, looking at a project.
I got a gift for you.
Oh yeah. What do you got? What do you got there?
I bought you your favorite
My
whiskey.
favorite brand. Look at this. Basil Hayden Toast, 5 stars. Highly recommend. Just like our podcast.
Yes.
No, this is good stuff. Anybody that likes old fashions, this is a very drinkable bottle. Very tasty.
Yeah.
So I haven't had many of these in a while. So
And you can sponsor us.
okay, yeah, we'll put that right there just for the reminder. There we
Was
go.
that Joe Rogan is sponsored by Buffalo Trace?
Is he?
Yeah.
Hot dog.
But we can't get
I don't know what
Buffalo
it's-
Trace in Omaha.
Well, now that we had an expert marketing consultant on, maybe we can find out how to get all these sponsors rolling in.
yeah.
Right.
We'll cover that in a couple weeks.
That's right. So what's up, dude? What did I miss? What's been going on in the Kosh household?
Well, Owen, you know how you always have things that where it grinds your gears
Or cooks my chicken?
cooks your chicken.
Cooks your chicken. That's what Ted came up with. This is what I have to work with.
Oh, my-
what really cooks your chicken?
Oh,
So tell us,
so
Ted.
I'm trying to buy this car wash, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was supposed to close 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Besides everything else, which I'm not going to get into right at the moment, but the appraisal was supposed to, they were there, a month and a half ago?
Mm-hmm.
And closing is now at least 3 weeks delayed, and I still do not have the appraisal on a 2-bay car wash.
Yeah. I don't understand this at all.
And they were there. They were there 2 weeks before closing.
So you are in 24 hours here. You are the second person who has told me they had I talked to another guy yesterday who had a 6-week delay on their appraisal. And anyway, I'll leave the people nameless because it's still an active deal, but super, super frustrating.
Okay.
Like, what is the deal?
Well, you're going to love this even more, right? Okay, so first off, this appraisal is supposed to get done. And you think, what's the most, valuable part of a car wash? Maybe the pumping room and all that stuff where all the equipment is.
Okay, sure.
Well, they never even told us we were going out. So they never even went into the only room you can access.
Okay.
To check out the
So they
equipment.
just saw
check
the
about
bays because these are coin wash, right? They're like hand wash
Exactly.
stations. Yep.
So they did an appraisal, never got in the bay. So here I am spending, I think, $4,000 or $5,000 for his commercial appraisal. Now, the bank, we'll leave nameless, they had a big car wash company fold. And the president of the bank doesn't want car washes right now.
Okay, so it was a toxic asset on their books, right?
Yes.
They had a chain of car washes that went under.
So the terms were 20% down, 20-year loan.
Right.
And they're like, well, because of this other person, which had a multi-million-dollar car wash company, mine's $200 and something thousand.
Right.
And totally different. And the only car wash in the town I'm buying, but the bank doesn't want car washes now. So now it's 30% down on a 15-year term.
Okay.
And I got notified that 3 days before closing. It was supposed to happen. So here I don't have an appraisal. I still owe money for it. The terms change.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, the banker I'm working with is really cool. And he's like, hey, he goes, call a couple people. And he goes, we can transfer the appraisal over. So I call another bank up, and they're like, oh, we want car washes.
Mm-hmm.
We want commercial. We'll do 25-year term, 20% down, and we can just do a tabletop appraisal. And they go, assets that small, we don't need to do a regular appraisal. And so here I'm already stuck in paying this huge appraisal fee for something that's holding up a deal that I don't even really technically need now for this. But the new bank's like, oh, we have to do a environmental study though.
Oh, they do a phase 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that part's fun. And then another bank I talked to, which is the banker, they're like, oh, we won't do environmental studies and we'll do a tabletop appraisal, but we will require flood coverage for this property, even though it's higher than the floodplain. Just give me the best of both worlds.
Doesn't it make you wish you would have gone to a broker originally and had multiple term sheets for multiple lenders?
Yeah, so
like, oh my god.
Oh, I was telling you what cooks my chicken. What is that phrase you always say? Roast.
Are you drunk?
No, but I wish I would have a drink right now.
What really grinds my gears?
Yeah, grinds the gears.
What grinds your gears, Ted? I don't know who's going to clean up this editing, but ask for a raise from Ted.
Yeah, Jory. Okay.
To finish the thought on the story that I was about ready to tell too about the appraisal thing.
Yeah.
So the same guy that I was talking with, buddy, the same thing. The bank was like, "Oh yeah, we'll do this." They weren't going to make him put down much, and then it turned out they find out 1 week. No, actually, not even a week. This is so. We're recording this on Friday. It's going to be Wednesday next week.
This comes out Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically 5 business days before closing, day before Thanksgiving, they're going to have to bring $400,000 additional to the deal.
That's a chunk.
Can you, I mean, in what world does this make sense? Like, if you're sitting behind, if you're at a bank, we're like, well, we'll just make them bring 400,000. Like, no, like, that's just not realistic. Like, you could have told me that way in the beginning.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and
it's just so
wasting time and money. And so when we were talking to AJ, I don't remember if it was on the podcast or if it was off air, but he talked about he's doing these interest only loans. He's like, hey, you know what? You're only going to hold the asset for so many years, right? And you're trying to raise the value of the product. And I'm like, yeah, why am I not going for one of these loans? Yeah, I don't plan to hold this forever. I have no plans of paying off this debt. You know, I just want to raise the value and then sell it in 3 to 5 years, maybe with a few more and have a package.
Okay.
And I'm like, I thought the 3 banks, none of them offer it. And I'm like, well, I wonder where you get those.
You got to get a broker.
Yeah.
That's when you got to get a broker involved. When you have commercial and specialty properties like that, storage, car washes.
This is my first
hotel conversion. I get it.
This is my first experience down this road, so this has been very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Next time, call me.
Okay.
And believe me, with the Branson hotel conversion project, 108 lenders we talked to. I have some connects for you, but this might be a good time for today's
Golden Nugget.
Where you can't always count on appraisals. This is not, 2021 anymore, where you can just go out and burr everything and not worry about it because values are going up. You have to underwrite much more carefully than times past, right? So, and the market cycles swing, drastically with how appraisals work. Now appraisers are so skittish that they don't want to go back very far. It used to be, 6 months ago, you could use an appraisal from then and then use a much wider area. But, this kind of goes back to our whole grinding your gears or cooking your chicken gripe earlier. I had another friend.
Sounds like a shirt in the making.
I had another friend that told me they were buying a multifamily or might have even been single family property, or they were refinancing or something. But the appraisal came back. It was like 20,000 or maybe 50,000 lower than the purchase price. They call the appraiser to find out what the deal is. Like, why is this, I got a good deal on this. I know it. The numbers checked out, underwrote it, blah, blah, blah. And then the appraiser said, oh, my bad. I misread the purchase price. Let me fix that. And they raised the value to exactly the purchase price just because they pointed that out. So I'm not saying there are not good appraisers out there. There certainly are. But I will tell you, from my experience and a lot of my friends that have gone through this, it almost looks like a racket. Like, what is even the point? If all they're going to do is come back and say, yes, this is what the property's worth, and it's always the purchase price. So just be careful and be mindful of that when you're going into and your plan is to refi, and that's going to be your only exit plan. We talk about this all the time. You got to have multiple exit strategies with this. And if you're banking on a high appraisal, good luck with how the market is right now.
I felt like I was doing the good thing, right? I flipped that duplex in South Omaha here and had a pre-appraisal done on the property because I did a construction loan on the property, and it pre-appraised, I think it was like 310, and it matched. There was an exact comp, like it was the exact building except mine was bigger and nicer. Like, but the room layout, everything was identical, and on the same block, one block went down. Now that sold for 320. And mine was bigger, but they're like, oh, you haven't done a rehab yet, so we're at 310. I'm like, whatever, just move on. I'm cool at 310. Get the rehab done. End up doing a ton more work than I ever expected. Place was substantially nicer than I ever planned. But I had a partner issue, so it didn't get done for a year and a half. Well, when they come to rerun comps, that comp didn't exist anymore. And then there was no comps at all because nothing's been selling lately. And they're like, you can take, when I was like fighting the appraisal, because the appraisal came back, I think it was like 220 or 230.
Ooh.
And I'm like, I am so underwater here that I was just devastated.
Sure.
And they said, you can take comps from anywhere in the city. It just has to be within 6 months because it was a duplex and there just wasn't anything around.
Okay.
So they gave me full margin. They were pulling comps in the other part of town. All the comps they pulled were in North Omaha. So I pulled some comps in Midtown, which is a higher, valued area. And so I think they ended up coming up somewhere between 245 and 250. Now, the week after I'm like, and I had to walk away from it because it was a partnership that was going away. Anyway, so no shit. That property that was the original comp, there's an agent here in this that I work with. Her name's Kim Stevens. She ends up being an agent on it. They want to sell it. She sold it for cash on the market for $325, all cash offer. And I'm like, oh, there's my comp.
Oh, that sucks.
No appraisal needed.
Yeah. I just think it's a racket. Like, honestly, I like I said, I know there's good appraisers out there, but man, you're in a small percentage. There's like 1%. It's not the 80-20 rule. It's the 99-1 rule.
Remember when we had that appraiser on?
Yeah.
That was an
interesting conversation.
Yeah. And he was an investor, so that part was really cool.
Yeah. One more thought on this. So I got a random call from the Pottawatomie County, which is in Southwest Iowa, Council Bluffs, sister city to Omaha, stepsister. And it was from the assessor's office, but it just said Council Bluffs City of or whatever, and I was like, oh boy, what is this? Could be anything. Cops, whatever, And they're like, yeah, this is, Julie or whatever her name is from the assessor's office. And we were wondering, we saw you purchased a property right next to the one you already owned. We went through that one last year to do a reassessment after the water damage. Just wondering if we could get in there. And I'm like, yeah. I go, so just so I understand, though, the assessed value is currently $371,000. We bought it for $250,000. I said, the commercial bay where most of the value is, it's 3,500 square feet of office at $16 a square foot, is vacant right now. It's being marketed, right? The apartment's filled. The commercial bay is not. I told her this. And I said, just so I understand how you approach this, tell me how you arrive at what the building is worth, if you wouldn't mind. And she said, well, and I said, it's residential and commercial. I said, so, when I look at properties as a commercial investor, multifamily investor, you look at what two things mainly, right?
Income.
Yeah. You look at net operating income and cap rate, right?
Yeah.
That's generally the quick math on it. There's other ways to approach it, but it's an income approach. So what does the building spin off for income? And you take that to market. You have two identical buildings. One of them's kicking off $100,000 a year. The other one's kicking off 50. They're the same building. One's worth way more on the strength of the lease, right? Leases.
Totally.
So I asked her, I'm like, how do you arrive at this? I said, do you go off the income approach? Because if you go off the income approach, this building's been vacant during my entire ownership, right? Mm-hmm. So it's worth way, way less. And she's like, well, in the state of Iowa, we have to evaluate it based on comparable, blah, 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 and going down this road. I go, wait, just so I understand, you're saying you use comps for commercial? I'm like, how does that work? Do you apply a price per square foot approach? I was nicer than I am right. I'm describing this, but I was driving the point home.
Yes,
I'm like, are you using price per square foot? Are you using income? Like, how are you arriving at this number? And she's like, well, basically the answer was she plugs it into their system. So they have a software that basically looks at what's sold in the market that has any type of comparison to yours. And I'm like, just so we're on the same page here, do you understand that is not how things are valued in commercial real estate? Like, I was like, take your hat off for a second. You know what I mean? I'm like, that is not how this works. And she's like, well, there's, I know it's different in the state of Iowa. And she was just kind of using that as her out. Like, could not explain to me how they arrived at what it was actually worth. And she's like, well, we'll go through it and we'll take a look and we'll establish, what the value is and if there needs to be changes to it. I go, okay, answer me this then. Is a property not its own best comp? Isn't it worth what it's worth? If it's listed on the market in a third party, transaction where it's no, there's no intermingling, is it not worth what it's worth? I mean, it's listed on the market. I bought it like a few months ago. That's my problem with this. The whole reassessment and then the appraisal Like, you got to get on the same page about this on how it's valued. It's just, I understand you're just doing your job. I understand that. I go, but if this comes around and the valuation goes up from a price that's already 120,000 more than what we paid for it, if it goes up from there, we're not going to be very happy. And she's like, I understand that. And you can, there's certainly a chance for you to protest it. I'm getting more and more pissed the longer I'm talking to her.
Sounds sounds like this is why you're moving to Council Bluffs, so you can run for office.
Yeah. Oh, geez. No, thank you. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's,
I'm sure nothing that you say in this podcast will be used against you.
Right. Yeah. Just Google me. I'm screwed immediately.
And that's what grinds Owen's gears.
That's right. Cooks my chicken. All right.
Okay. Well, hey, that was a quick 20 minutes, but I think people got the gist of what's going on this week.
Yes, they did. All right.
Okay, guys. So, hey, we have Casey Gregersen. We flew Casey in after we had him on the podcast. Yep. He spoke to our local RIA group. He did a great presentation talking mainly about flips, and we're actually going to fly him again for our Fix and Flip Mastery Series, January 16th. So, listen to this, and if you love what you hear, we're going to do some major, we're going to go a lot deeper when we fly Casey in January. So check out RIAMasterySeries.com. Buy those tickets. They're $250 for RIA members, $350 otherwise. And we'd love to see you there. And any feedback from Casey's event?
Well, I thought it was amazing. And he touched mostly surface level stuff, but he got into kind of the meat and potatoes of his process. Flips over 70 houses a year. He's looking to jack that up to 100 in the coming years. And he's got, if you love systems, processes, creative finance, he's got some methods that he uses that I've never heard of anybody really using in exactly the same way, where he's able to split equity with sellers of properties. And just super creative guy, very intelligent, and is a dynamic speaker. So I think you guys are going to love it.
Yeah. Well, with that, Owen Dashner, we see us out.
On behalf of Aiden Bear, RIA Radio, and Ted Kosh, I'm Owen Dashner, and you've been listening to the
Real Estate Rundown. Sign off. What?
What in the world? Is that Skylar?
We're in a podcast, and I have no idea what you just said. Radio edit. What did you just do to us?
Welcome back to another edition of Teddy and Owen Dashner.
Did I accidentally hit play, and did you hear us talk? Yeah, it's Carson.
What's up, Carson? Welcome to the show. That was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god, we had an unexpected guest in our studio virtually.
Yeah, Carson got a walkie-talkie in my watch. I guess I pushed it somehow.